What? Stop yelling at me. This fucking cat.
All right, and we're live.
Very good.
Yay.
Hello, everybody.
Wait, why is it? Oh. I've run out of room to put all of my abilities on the screen and be able to read them easily.
Dear God.
Hey, Sonic.
Hey, everybody in the chat. I just want to drop you a question real quick, something to consider. If you have the answer, go ahead, leave it in the comments down below. Question I got for you all today is, if you're flying through the desert and your boat gets a flat tire, what should you have in your pockets?
Very nice.
That's a good question.
Blue, because ice cream has no bones.
Not the way I make.
Very good.
So if I remember correctly, last we were still in Teeks Bay dealing with some shit.
We were indeed.
Hey, that is correct.
As is tradition, I would read my notes, but that is last time I took the longest notes that I've taken so far. So I would take a while to get through them.
Yes, they are copious.
Where do I click on that?
I have, however, acquainted myself with them, so I'm caught up. They are copious, but I have in fact acquainted myself with them, so I'm caught up.
Cool. For the stream's sake, so we reached Teak Bay to get our ship repaired after the whole previous thing of fighting a sea monster, in which Gilator 1v1'd it and won. So we came to this place, and Gilator and Asim went off to... What did they do? I mostly focused on what Lan and Amandi did last time. That's mainly...
I'll be real with you.
We got someone killed.
Oh, same, dude. What up?
Did we, or did we actually, or was that you guys? That was you guys.
That was them. We were in the middle of chasing somebody when we got more crewmates.
Oh yeah, I got shit-faced is what happened. I got shit-faced. That's what happened. I forgot.
Yeah. You got so drunk you thought you killed somebody, apparently. But
apparently.
No, yeah, so they got drunk and or got more crew members. Meanwhile, we confronted some of Lan's arch enemies, and they used said confrontation to stab a random citizen, which made us feel bad, and also threatened to blow up the entire island, even though some of them were literally standing on said place at the time. But okay.
Drop a friggin' buster call on the island.
Yeah. No, he was threatening
Taxi.
The rest of the town, not the shipyards. That's what... Like, the shipyards are on the docks, but his cannons are, like, pointed into town.
Yeah, my character got really shit-faced the last game, and doesn't remember anything.
In danger of shooting himself with his cannons.
Except that he may have made a couple of friends.
Because I was under the impression he was planning to blow it all
Not
up.
sure, though.
No, just the innocent people.
Okay. Yeah, so he threatened that, so we backed down. So we wouldn't get more innocent people killed. And now, Lan and Amandi are on the way in to see, like, the guy we came here to see in the first place. The guy who, like, runs the docks. Both to explain what happened, while very much, like... Okay, so not wording it in the way that puts us at fault, but also definitely still informing him of what happened just outside of his office, pretty much. Yeah.
Right.
But we'll essentially spin it so that we don't have any culpability.
Yeah. But also, we are leaving money with this guy to go towards the man's family, for his funeral and or taking care of the family, because the other shipwrights wouldn't take it because they hate us now. But like, we want to at least help this guy's family, so we're gonna leave it with the foreman as an anonymous donation.
Boy, we're making friends fast around here.
Very nice. So, why don't we go back to what Gillator and Asim were doing, since we ended with Lan and Amandi.
Do Gillator and Asim know what Gillator and Asim are doing?
Yeah, we
Okay.
were in a bar. We got some more crewmates, and there was some guy who we needed to chase or something. And I turned to the guys who we have now, and I'm like, "Hey, this is your chance to prove yourself. We're gonna chase down this guy."
Oh hey, didn't you get like a
brother.
fancy magic item that's a fairy in a bottle or something?
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, you were trading in a back alley and made a contact with a person who trades magic items. So now we have a person that we can trade magic items.
That,
Yeah.
that was Gilf.
Now we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gelf is on a whole other adventure right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Amanda, you and I were
No.
off.
Nope.
I
Well,
wasn't
you were
there
on
for
your
that.
own.
No,
Yeah.
Gelf was with the other two NPC guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gelf was hanging out with what the fuck are their names? Bernard
Francisco.
and Francisco. Yeah, the
See.
two bruisers.
See, Asim gets drunk and the whole crew loses what they're doing. I love it.
No, just you. I knew exactly what we were doing.
Not gonna let me have that one, huh?
No.
Technically, we're still on the route to do the thing we intended to do. There was just extra steps.
Fair.
Yeah. Not only do we know exactly where we are at your intervention. Asim, you have a problem. We've all been noticing.
We've all been noticing you've been drinking a little bit more. Yeah. Anyway.
Right. So, I think Gelf had basically finished what he was doing, right?
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, so Gillator and Asim, since we got through one scene with each of you, Gelf, would you like to join either of the other two groups?
Yes.
The next part of their scene, which group would you like to join?
I will switch over to Amandi and Lanolin.
Okay, so you'll head over to the dock work, like the shipwright dry docks, after their confrontation before they head into the foreman's, the head shipwright's, like, it's not, I guess his kind of his house, but like probably like more like workshop house combo. So anyway, Gillator and Asim, what do you do? What are you up to?
I just remember there being a guy we have to go chase, so we got to run after him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you head out the bar, and you don't immediately see sight of him since you were kind of in the middle of rabble rousing in the tavern and collecting some more crew. How do you want to approach this? What do you want to do?
Us, rouse rabble? No.
How do you mean, how do you want to approach this? There's guy running.
Yeah.
Well, he's not running. He just kind of like discreetly walked out of the tavern. Like he's not sprinting away like super conspicuously.
Oh, I thought he was.
No.
Oh, well, we're gonna follow him.
Who the fuck would do that?
I think he wants.
A sketchy
when you say-
motherfucker.
Also, I think he
you
wants
just
to know,
kinda-
like, are you making an effort to conceal the fact that you're following this guy? Are you yelling like, "Hey, you, stop! In the name of the law"?
Yeah. How are you like tracking this guy down? Like describe to me what you're doing.
All right, Asim, you're the sneaky type. I'm gonna be chasing him normally. You chase him in the shadows to where you could get ahead and cut him off.
I've got a question. What is the town made up of? What does this alleyway look like?
Buildings.
Like-
Yeah, it's mostly buildings. There's no alleyway. You're in a tavern. You walked
Yeah,
out the front
outside.
door.
Yeah. And is it like a
And-
town square or?
No, So you're
Is it
still
rows
on
of
the dock,
houses?
so like a wharf. Rows of like warehouses.
I'm literally just imagining St. Augustine.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Like a kind of shittier version of St. Augustine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Only like imagine half the street and the other half is docks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am going to try to get ahead of this person,
Okay.
sneaking through the back alleys to try to cut him off. Gillator, you keep eyes on. And our new friends, and I can't remember their names.
It's in the Chimera.
Oh, it's on the Chimera thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Meckle and Gigglebop.
Yeah, dude.
What did I change this to?
So just curious, but like,
Agir and Ulgor. That's gonna be easy to remember.
No.
how would being drunk affect your ability to sneak?
We're not
I've
going to
got
talk
the
about that.
Chimera.
I'm
Wow.
sobering up.
Real quick.
Okay. I want the elf to stay. I want the muscle to stay with Gillator. And I want the swordsman
Okay.
to sneak around to the other side and try to cut him off.
Okay, so this
Hey,
guy's
Lizzie
like
Dizzy!
you saw he was like walking down the docks like normally as you left the tavern down the street, and then like you know what? Roll me a perception check.
Skills. Perception.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, so you head out, you kind of look down the street, you see him for a second, but it's kind of like actually no, you probably like because of like what you were doing in the tavern and like talking to people and signing people up to your ship, by the time you realize that he's gone from the tavern, you head outside, you don't see him anywhere. So you'll have to like track him down.
Would that be...
There's a couple other people on the docks that are out here.
But none of them look like the person.
No, there's a couple Ragnvaldi guys. There's some other sailors kind of just milling about. Nobody's really doing anything. Like it's actually normally on the docks like this, there'd be like hustle and bustle, people loading and unloading ships. Not really much of that going on here. So,
all right. I'm gonna go ahead and either roll streetwise or stealth to make myself blend in to actually go start looking for this person.
okay. Well, like I said, there's not a whole lot of people out here. So,
Yeah, but I don't want
rolling
this
streetwise to try to blend in would be difficult. Not impossible, but
then stealth, like jumping up onto a rooftop through a
Sure,
back
yeah.
alley.
yeah, give me a
Alright.
stealth check. Okay. So you like climb up onto the roof of this tavern, kind of hop a couple doors down, looking for this dude. You don't see him initially. After a couple of minutes, you see him kind of like looking out of an alley, like one street back, away from the water line, just kind of like peeking his head out, looking both ways, and start walking away.
And are the roofs close enough together that I can stay up and out of sight?
Yeah.
I follow him.
Okay.
And I look down at Gillator and I point in a general direction and then dip back onto the roofs.
I follow.
if that works.
Sure.
Ooh,
Uh,
sneaky, sneaky.
You see him head towards the shipwright.
Of course I do. Hoping there was going to be more of a chase. Do I have a chance to overcome him before he gets to the shipwright?
Yeah, you could stop him before he gets there.
All right.
It looks like he thinks he's giving you the slip.
Okay. Then I come up on him.
Okay,
Come up
where's
and around him.
Gillitor and the others?
You're sneaking up on him in an alley, and now you're coming up on him. Hey, yo!
Oh my god.
Yes.
Gillitor, where are you and the other guys?
The elf swordsman guy is with Asim.
Okay, that's fine.
The
Yeah.
orc is with me, kind of like walking a discreet enough distance back from this guy to where we can like follow him.
Okay, give me a either stealth or streetwise in order to stay hidden. I'll just keep his perception check here.
Oof.
He definitely like knows that you're following him. He's trying to keep nonchalant about it. He's continuing on towards the shipwrights, towards the dry docks. But you can see he's much more tense. He's got like his hand on his sword as he's walking, in a way that like a normal person would think is just kind of his hand is resting on it, but like a seasoned fighter would be able to tell that like he's prepared to draw it immediately if he has to. Asim, what do you want to do?
I want to either drop down or pull out of a like an alleyway or behind something and pop up on him and be like, keep that stowed.
Okay, so you come out in front of him. Gillitor and what's his name? Olger kind of catch up behind him. Yeah, you and Agare are pop out of an alley in front of him, and he immediately takes like a defensive like stance, like footwork, and his hand is gripping his sword, but he hasn't drawn it yet.
Yeah, he's taking a really aggressively defensive stance. Well, how come there's no White History Month?
Exactly.
Anyway.
He's a brown guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I say to him, keep it stowed.
What the
I
fuck
just
you
want to talk.
Talk about what? You best be minding your business.
I'm not in that kind of business. You left pretty hastily.
I can leave in whatever haste I wish. I don't need you judging me. Now let me go about my business.
I have a feeling that you need to tell me something. What's going on?
The only thing you're going to be feeling is my steel through you. If you don't get the fuck out of my way.
I'd rather not have to take you back to my ship and interrogate you. It's gonna go a lot easier if we just talk this out.
Give me either persuasion or intimidate, whatever you're trying to do with this guy.
Which is it, carrot or stick?
Oh, it's gonna be stick. Only thing I'm really good at.
Then he about to stick you.
Yeah, he looks like nervous. You see his eyes are kind of darting around looking for a way out.
He's just been saying they've been trying to reach us about our ship's extended warranty.
They finally tracked me down for the warranty.
Oh no, it's Land's ex-wife with the alimony papers.
He goes, listen, he goes, I got friends in high places you don't want to fucking piss off. So you better piss off. But he's kind of saying it like he's nervous and hoping that will work.
Oh, pissing off people in high places is my favorite thing to do. So,
As you speak, he like jumps nervously and like whips around to you.
That, sir, is my captain. And more
I am his
importantly than me wanting to know why you left hastily, what he wants, we get. So out with it.
Like how you'd put your hand on somebody's shoulder reassuringly, but I do it with my whole claw kind of like wrapped around his shoulder a little bit. So tell me, friend, what got you so nervous?
This is the energy I'm getting.
Yeah, basically. So he says basically that he was on watch for anybody of note coming into port, and was on his way to go report it. That's all he's doing.
Oh, well, it makes sense. I am of note.
So I've got a question. How much are they paying you for this information?
He basically tells you like a couple shares, like a good amount. Like he's not a single dude being paid by higher ups. Like
he pulls a salary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like he's a part of a group that are all assigned to do this.
Well, he's like he said he needs to go report it to his his boss.
How much for you to go back to the pub and drink?
No. I have a much better idea.
Okay.
He's working for somebody who, is basically keeping an eye out for people like us, and they're in power. I am kind of interested to know who, and I think this isn't really the place to talk about it. I think our ship would be much more comfortable.
He's like,
I agree.
Give me an insight check.
Both of us are just...
Yeah, both of you can roll. Gelator, he's about to try one.
Oh, well.
Little puss.
So what I'm going to do, like I said, I kind of had my claw near him.
Yeah.
Kind of like caressing him with that. I am going to grapple him with my claw.
Yeah, give me I guess, athletics check. Yeah, he goes to run and you kind of like sweep down, grab his like calf and ankle with your claw and yank him up, and he trips and falls. And he's like scraping away, but he's not getting anywhere.
Asim, get our new friend comfortable. I think he he could use a little drink on our ship.
What's how do you pronounce the muscle's name?
Ogre?
Olger. Grab that. Let's go. Restrain that. Let's go.
Yeah,
go back to the
like
ship.
Grabs the guy and throws him over his shoulder.
And one of you get his sword. It's like kidnapping 101. Get his sword.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Pat him down for more weapon. Don't just pick him up. Oh my god.
He's got him. He's gone.
Is
What is this your
kidnapping
first
Well-
time
101?
kidnapping somebody?
We're not going to talk about that, Captain. Not in front of the crew.
He's trying to use negative reinforcement because he thinks that's what Lan would do.
Okay.
Probably.
I feel like he does that and then leans in, just like, "Hey guys, I'm giving you a hard time, but in all seriousness, I can really see you're putting the effort in, and I appreciate it 100%. You're doing a great job. Okay."
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much.
We're gonna cut over to Lan, Gelf, and Amandi then.
Yeah, no, I'm not
As you
usually
all-
like this. I'm just getting you guys prepared for how my bosun's gonna treat you.
As you haul this guy back to the ship.
Good time or bad time?
Uh,
Hold on, I'm checking.
So Lan, Amandi, and Gelf.
That's
Lan and
right.
Amandi, as you guys are heading towards the shipwright's cottage, Lan catches up with you.
Elf catches up with us.
Or yeah, Gelf catches up with you.
And I have Francisco and who's it? Francisco
And Bernard?
and Bernard in tow.
Okay.
And I'm going. As soon as I see Amandi, I'll go, Amandi, Amandi. God.
She like ear twitches and turns in his direction before her head turns that way. Yeah, what's up?
I show her the scarab.
I pause and stare down at this magic item that is in his hands and like pinch the bridge of my nose. And then I hold my hand out for the magic item.
And Gelf hands it over.
I look at it, and as I'm putting it into a pocket, I ask him what it does.
Taking it from him.
He knows he's not allowed to have these.
But what?
Hmm? Hmm?
Oh, well, if you must know, it's a scarab of light. It
Okay.
casts light for a day.
Okay. And did you spend money on this?
It's very useful.
I feel like Amandi very sarcastically just pulls out a match.
I just instead I stare at the wizard. I'm sorry, like as a wizard, are you not capable of casting light?
I'm reading up on what the thing does.
It does other cool shit.
Yeah, it was really
Nope.
cool when I got it.
So far,
Right.
she's only told her about casting light.
Did I post the information of what it does somewhere? I forget. Because I can send it to you.
It's Jaskaran Priest to cast continual light ritual, aka light cantrip that lasts 24 hours, grants purifying firepower. Oh, something about purifying fire.
Yeah, you can use the daily power of purifying fire.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Ah ha ha. It's like a fireball, only a little more accurate, I think. Hold on, let me take a look at the spell.
I think it heals your allies as well as damages your enemies. Something like that. It's fucking cool. I don't remember what it did, but I remember it being fucking dope.
This is exactly Gelf's monologue to Amandi. Is like, what? I mean, I don't remember what it did, but it was fucking dope, whatever it did.
It's
Mhm.
fucking awesome.
Let's see.
Monty, you don't understand. It's good as fuck.
It is. It lights things on fire.
Yeah.
The cleric domain of purifying fire. Oh, darn it. Oh, where was that? Move on to somebody else while I'm looking for this thing.
In the meantime, he looks over. Lan is currently just 1,000 yards staring into dead space.
Very nice.
Amadi begins leaving said increased party to the foreman's office to do the plan she already had to do.
Okay.
As Gelf tries to find a way to justify the purchase that Amandi so far thinks was likely too much money for what he gave her.
It's not, I swear.
Okay.
Bernard speaks up and he said, he goes, I think the the salesman said something about blasting fire out of the scarab at
Who is this?
Bernard says this. That,
Who's
like,
Bernard again?
he's the fucking guy you're with.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot there was a
Yeah,
guy.
he's our muscle.
Yeah,
He's-
he's one of the
yeah, he's-
guys that you hired, like one of the two guys that you hired from that island where we had the giant Cthulhu battle.
Yeah. I forgot he was like here for this interaction.
Yeah, he says it's some kind of priest's amulet that burns non-believers and heals the sick or some shit.
That's
Amandi's
right.
eyebrow
Thank
kind of
you, Bernard.
twitches. Burns
Yes.
non-believers of what god?
I don't know, whatever one you don't like.
That feels far more subjective than I feel like some type of divine relic should be.
That is
And Francisco
so
kind of
much
shrugs
room
and
for
he goes, "Listen,
interpretation."
it's magic. It's all subjective.
No, it's not. A lot of it is very, very objective. Like the light he says, like the light cantrip, no wiggle room on that whatsoever. It is exactly what it says on the tin. Burns non-believers.
It also
little bit
lets
of
you
wiggle room.
It also lets you cast Purifying Fire, details of which I posted in the quarter deck. You engulf your foes in divine fire that continues to burn. The cleansing flames provide relief to you and your allies, healing those who move near your burning enemies. And so you basically light people on fire, get a bag of marshmallows, and roast them because you're getting healing while they burn and scream in agony.
Oh, I could go for some marshmallows right now.
I love it.
I suppose we can try to stop and get some of those on the way back. I'm not sure Amandi has ever had a marshmallow.
What is a
Bernard looks at
marshmallow?
Francisco and he goes, "I told you this crew rocks."
I told you this is a good gig.
Yeah, they've got this crazy wizard.
Okay. So you've handed me a magic item that casts light and also does fire, but also healing through fire.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
You light your enemies on fire, and if you stand close to your burning enemies, you get healed.
Does it have to be the fire that the scarab casts? Or is it any fire that you've set to your enemies?
It has to be the fire the scarab casts. I haven't used it yet. I wonder if it's a different color. I don't know. Anybody you know we need to light on fire?
Amandi pauses.
I'm sure we'll figure someone out.
And
Now that you
turns-
mention it.
As it just so happens.
look back at the giant ship that just threatened to blow up this place.
Mm-hmm.
I could think of a few people. Maybe a ship.
Oh. I'll give the word, Admiral. And I would love to test this spell on something really cool.
I will consider it.
You are as gracious as you are beautiful.
Amandi pauses as that again, and it just like gives him a weird look as he is not used to more
Flattery.
humanoid looking people saying that to her.
You realize I'm just buttering you up because I want access to the magic item.
Look, Amandi is she is a material plane 4, but a Feywild 10. Or she's a Sealy 7, but an unsealy 9, okay?
Oh my god.
I can't argue
Anyway.
with that. Okay, so she will take that under advisement as we continue on with our current plan to talk to the foreman.
Mm-hmm.
While you guys are doing that, I'm going to jot this stuff down in my notebook.
Very
Good
good.
idea.
Okay, so you guys head into the foreman's workshop, the master shipwright's workshop, and you see basically as you walk in, it's not a big place. Actually, no, it's a pretty popular place. It probably is a pretty big workshop, but like in the front is like a desk area and like basically like a workspace to draft plans for ships and like a chair and or some chairs and a desk. And you see somebody behind the desk like standing there, very distraught looking. As one of the other guy, like there's another guy standing nearby, like looking concerned and worried. And they were in the middle of talking to each other. You hear the one guy in front, like closer to the door in front of the desk, kind of like they're like, listen, we can figure something out. As like you guys open the door and they both look up at you. The one guy like worried, the other guy looking pissed off that somebody has walked in here and bothered him, and he barks, "What do you want?"
Holds up
We're
two
closed.
fingers. Two things. One, for a ship to be repaired, and two, to report an incident.
Fuck off. Go to some other port. We're not open.
I keep talking. And two, to report an incident that happened in your docks. There was an altercation with the trade guild, and he killed one of your men.
God damn it. Fucking. He basically face palms, and it's like this wasn't fucking bad enough.
I wanna interject something into the conversation.
Okay.
I kind of have a throat.
He looks at the other. These guys are both human Ragnvaldi guys. He looks at the other guy that was talking to him, and he goes, "Go check on things. Tell the others not to fucking talk to the goddamn trade guild." And he nods, "Yes, sir," and leaves.
Great. I look at the head guy, and do I know what his title would be?
Master Shipwright.
Great. You say Master Shipwright, and I say I would be remiss if I did not mention that. And I say the nature of this altercation. And I sigh and I say that how do I put this? Hey, stop barking. Stop barking. You puppet me.
You're telling a master shipwright to stop barking.
No, yes, my dog is the master shipwright.
Oh,
Well, he just bark at you, so he barked at you to get out.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
So he goes, "How dare you come in here and tell me
No.
what to do?"
I would say to him that I'd be. I say to him that I would be remiss. I would be remiss if I did not mention that. Me and my crewmate here, and I say we did more than bear witness to the altercation between the trade guild and your man. I said we did our best, and I say that we did our best to diffuse an existing situation, but I say I'll confess to you, sir, that I let my temper get the best of me in that regard. That being said, I say we're no friends of the trade guild, and I say both on that account and out of a feeling of responsibility for the matter. And I say that I believe we may be of use to each other in remedying the situation.
Well, that makes two of us friends of the trade guild. Is when you mention not being friends of the trade guild and getting other people like injured or horrible things happening to them in response, he goes, "That makes two of us." What the?
So
What
I'd
do
like
you
to add. Well, first, did I bring the perpetual rum bottle or no?
I
think somebody else.
last I heard, it's been on the ship.
Okay.
But I mean, if it's your magic item and you want to have it on you,
I usually bring it when we go to negotiate with the sailors and everything. But I don't know if like Guild
That's
or
fine.
a team would have taken it.
Oh,
I wouldn't have taken it.
well, tavern owners probably get pretty pissy when you bring everlasting.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They brought infinite drinks from the outside.
Yeah.
It's like the old Jesus at the Last Supper. Oh, we'll just have a table full of waters. Wink.
Yeah.
Great.
So you can have it with you, yeah.
I pull out of my bag, and I gesture to him, friendly but not overeager.
Sure.
And I say that for now, before we can discuss how we can be of use to each other, I say we would appreciate if you could sit down with us and enlighten us as to how your shipyard found yourself in this particular existing arrangement. I say
Sure.
your men have understandably not been rather forthcoming.
Yeah, everybody's kind of sour about it. He takes the small flask from you, opens it, shoots it back, drinks what he thought would be all of it, and then it keeps going, and you see a look of mild confusion on his face as he just keeps drinking. And like takes it away from his lips after he's drank about two full of like what would be
no.
the volume of
When it's become clear that he's like not, because I don't want him to be shit faced. So when it's become clear that like
he's Ragenvaldi.
When he's drunk the full equivalent of one flask, I kind of like gently reach up and try to guide it away from him as I go. I understand that you and your countrymen are made of quite stiff, or say you're carved out of quite good stock, but I wouldn't recommend trying to get to the bottom of that particular vessel if you'd like to end the day with your land legs.
Yeah, he drinks about two and a half. He drinks about 2.5 of like of the size of this bottle, and then hands it back to you and like wipes his mouth on his sleeve and burps. This has like seemingly done nothing to his inebriation level.
I toast him with a look of like mildly impressive, like a game respect game. Take a like respectable swig myself, not like trying to go bar for bar, but like that old etiquette thing of like now we've all had a drink so we're all on the same level, and then pass it off to Gelf and Amandi with like a tone of like, not that they ever need to be exactly persuaded to, but stressing like this is how sailors begin negotiations. Have a drink.
Hey, please, I've been a sailor for a while. She just drinks it.
Yeah, all of
No. I understand, but just making sure to impress like this is the phase where like we're not just friends having a drink. The negotiations have officially begun as of now.
Right.
No hesitation. She
They
takes
now.
it, takes a drink, passes it to Gelf.
Does Amandi try and go bar for bar with the Ragenvaldi?
Let me check something real quick.
Checks Amandi's constitution.
Yeah.
Give me an endurance check.
I was gonna say, would that be
Okay, sure. I also have good endurance. It's one of my best skills.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're able to drink as much as him.
Maintains eye contact the entire time.
Ooh.
Gotta show dominance. This man looked at me when I came in. Unacceptable.
He gives like a solid game respects game nod to you.
Oh, give him like a half nod back as I then pass the flask to Gelf.
I'm just saying, I ship it.
He goes, well,
Take a swig and put it away.
I'm gonna pull up a chair beside his desk.
yeah, there's like 2 or 3 other chairs, and
That's the exact amount of chairs we need.
He sits down at the chair behind the desk.
I'll continue to stand slightly behind Lan.
Okay. That's also where Bernard and Francisco are at. Like they're standing by the door. He basically tells you that ever since a few weeks back, these trade guild pigs showed up demanding that we work for them now. They tried buying us out, but I ain't taking. This is my business, and I ain't selling.
Right. Nod to him as like a sign of respect that like it's a good thing for a man to hold his own, but I do mention surely that He's like, I've seen before when the trade guild tries to forcibly acquire a business such as this. It says normally that your production wouldn't have ceased. If anything, it would have, like, they'd have put your men on double or triple time and required a tithe. And I say, I ain't never seen a place occupied by the trade guild content to sit around doing nothing.
Well, then you haven't seen a place occupied by the trade guild that hadn't sold to them. You don't sell, they tank your fucking business, I guess, and kidnap your children. Fucking ridiculous.
I'm sorry, what?
Well,
Kidnapping children.
they kidnapped my son this morning.
I presume he's on their ship.
I don't know where he is. They said he's in a secure location. He's safe for now. Trying to fucking scare me.
That means we can't sink the ship.
Think about it for a second. I go. So wait. So he's saying that they didn't like basically just force the thing through. They are, I mean, for all intents and purposes, trying still to acquire this place above board, at least insofar as they can.
Right. If they tried to,
they didn't just kill him and install their own guy.
No, they'd go to war with Ragnvald for that. But they're fucking with this guy to the point where they hold like, imagine putting a thug outside somebody's business and
No, I
I
understand. I understand.
That's what the ship here is doing. And now at this point they've kidnapped his child in order to extort him to selling his business.
Land's taking a second to consider, because on the one hand, if we get getting the kid back doesn't solve the problem of the trade guild being here. You know what I mean?
No, but if we get the kid back, then we can sink their ship, and that solves the problem of them being here.
It doesn't really, because they might just send reinforcements.
It temporarily solves the problem.
Getting them to leave is good. Getting them to never come back is better.
Lan, roll me a history check.
Gladly.
Or anybody really can do this.
I would like to. I feel like this is going to be important. Can I use my bardic lore power?
What did I do?
Bardic lore, you automatically get a nat 20 on a history, nature, religion check.
Okay. Gelf, you can also roll if you want. You're also here.
Mr. Know-It-All says.
Yeah, Gelf actually does know a bit about the trade guild as someone who's, as an elf, probably been sailing for a while.
Then honestly, if
What?
Oh my God, that got him.
Oh
They
no,
did. He's
it's the
dead.
trade guild.
So, Gelf, you know that, like, you've seen this kind of shit before with businesses being like knocked over and bought out by the trade guild. It's usually like one guy trying to get a fucking promotion or something will go out of his way to do this, and like technically it's not above board to be extorting people like this, but the trade guild will look the other way. If the result.
Hey, my internet died. I missed everything after Gelf got the win.
Cool. Well, I'm in the middle of explaining it.
I know. I just wanted to. You're in the middle of it, so I wanted to let you know. Hey, I missed the beginning of your exposition.
Okay, so what I said is that basically the trade guild does not officially sanction this behavior. It's usually some like ship commander getting big for their britches and trying to earn a promotion in the company, and does this kind of shit like below board, but like the trade guild just cares about results. So if you acquire a new business that makes money for the trade guild,
Right.
like you'll get the promotion, and like the end, if the end result is that you acquired it, that's all they care about. But if you fail,
They'll be like, "Hey, don't do that again." But like, Don't do that again, but you are being rewarded for doing it the first time.
Right, but if you
Yeah,
fail at
naughty,
acquiring
no
the
shaking
business,
down
they're not
people.
gonna send more dudes after you. The trade guild is not doing this. Specifically, this captain.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, so if we get him to, even if he leaves with his tail between his legs, if word of this gets back to the trade guild, he's going to be in trouble and reprimanded.
Yeah, they're not gonna like send more dudes after you.
Got it.
Yeah, if they're going to turn a blind eye, and the whatever eye and ear they do turn to this, they're just going to go, "Oh, shame, shame, shame! You stop shaking down these poor people. We're going to go away now, but you stop shaking them down."
Right. And then the captain will go shake down somebody else, or potentially be demoted if it was really egregious.
I would figure that if this gets back to the trade guild, they would, and it's that if he failed and it gets back to the trade guild, they would actually punish this guy because, well,
Yeah.
good going. Now this place is never going to do business with us, and you've just closed off that avenue forever.
Right. Not only like did you fail at getting the business, you're also making us look bad on the world stage because people know about this. If we were successful, then it doesn't care what people say. We own the business. People could say we got the business however we want, or however they want to say it. At the end of the day, we succeeded.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a results-based
perfect.
judgment call here.
Yeah.
And you can
So-
take your little taste and stick it in your bilge hole.
But the main takeaway of that is that like if you do succeed in stopping this guy and routing them, they're not going to come back later and fuck this guy over again after you leave. They're going to wash their hands of it.
Cool.
Okay.
We're going to have to take care of it with some sense of permanency.
Yeah. I'm
Let's
thinking
see, what's a
kill
permanent
their
way to solve?
captain, sink their ship, take whatever loot's on their boat.
I like the cut of your jib.
Now, let me say this though, and I say, if we do allow them to, like, basically, if we sink the ship, kill everybody on board, and I mentioned hypothetically in a kind of like, I don't know how down this guy is, you know, like I know he's down, but like I don't know if he's down.
And they kidnapped his kid, and he's a
Yeah,
he's a-
no, but like
he's
I
basically a
get it, but
Viking.
it's fair. Great. Then I say if we get rid of the ship and get rid of everybody on board with it. And I say, granted, this is below board behavior, but it doesn't strike a blow at the trade guild. And I say, but if we let word of this get out and the trade guild knows that word of it got out, that will stick in their craw.
We can do both. If we sink their ship and take them out, there's still other ships and people in this dock that once they get fixed, they can go out and spread the word about what happened, including us.
I was also just suggesting that we let at least one of them slink back with their tail tucked between their legs.
That's fine too. At minimum, I want their captain dead, and maybe those other guys that we directly had a confrontation with. We
Agreed.
can do a survivor or whatever.
Agreed. Right. I look at him and I say, "Great. I'm going to look at the quartermaster when I tell him that, or the master shipwright. And I say, sir, I fear coming here that while fortuitous in the sense that our interests are aligned, and proportional to our occupation and skill set, and I kind of lean on that a bit of like letting him know, and I say occupation to suggest like killing trade guild members.
Indeed.
And I say, I do fear that, as I said before, I may have escalated things and caused the trouble that unfortunately resulted in the death of one of your men. I say, so I give you my word. I give you my word on my honor as a sailor. I say, I'll see your son return to you, at the very least. And if it's within my power, that ship in the trade guild will not darken your doorstep again.
He nods his head and he's like, I respect that. Well, whatever you can do to help us.
I also request the man down there, and I describe him, the guy that died, and I say, I'm sure you'll be getting the report back on it soon, but I say, the ones that were with him declined this, and I know it doesn't make it right, but if you could, I'd like to see that some coin finds its way to his family.
He takes the pouch and he says, I'll get it to him.
Great. I give them 500 gold.
Okay, go ahead and take that.
Like a truly insane amount of money for like a working class family to suddenly come upon.
Right.
Well, I hope that's not what they're doing with the money.
What's up?
Choice at that point.
Nothing. So he takes it from you and he goes, well, as far as getting my son back, I don't know where they took him. I don't
He's
even
likely
know.
being kept aboard that man of war.
I mean, maybe, but they have some of my men doing work on the ship. So like, so
Have there been any other ships of note that have come and gone bearing their colors since your son went missing?
no, they're the only trade guild ship that's come into port in the last month. They were here 3 weeks ago. They left and they came back.
Wait, did they have your son before they left, or just after they returned?
They took him this morning.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know if is that ship their base of operations, or do you know if they might be staying in town somewhere, or commissioned an old warehouse?
As far as I'm aware, that's where they've been staying, is on the ship, but they said that none of us here would ever see him again unless I sold the place. So my men have been doing light work on their ship, so they haven't said that they saw him there.
If it were me, I'd be keeping him
He
somewhere aboard.
He nods his head in gesturing to the guy who just left, and he said, "I haven't gotten word that anybody's seen him aboard their ship since this morning." But
so I will say, if it were me, I'd be keeping him aboard that ship as an insurance policy against, well, and then I kind of gesture between all of us. That being said, it's also possible that if he is aboard that ship, that they're planning on moving him somewhere inland. Let us poke around and see what we can find.
well, you're welcome to search his room. That's where they stole him from.
Good place to start.
I heard the window shatter, but by the time I got there, he was gone.
Like I said, I've agreed that whether or not anything comes of this, and whether or not when this is over, he agrees to help us, like separate from whatever transaction we make later, I'm giving him my word he will see his son again. And that I'll do everything in my power to make that happen on my honor as a sailor.
You know, man, that was touching.
I shrug. Don't. Yeah, just looks annoyed at the fact that Gelf has seen Lan in like somewhat of a tender moment. But yeah. Is everyone we good to go start looking in the room, or anything else we want to do, or
We can start looking.
Well, I'm going to transition here to Gilator and Asim as you haul this.
So I will say, just because it'll make it easier for you to make the party become one later. Do we think instead of going to look at the kid's room first, we should go back to the ship and like get everybody in the same place beforehand?
You can if you want.
I'm asking like Gelf and Amandi.
I mean,
Just
that's
because
fine.
just because it'll make it easier for the next scene to like transition us together if Ben needs to.
Yeah, so everybody can search the room if you want, or search and continue like the investigation here.
Yeah,
Well,
that sounds good.
Asim is pretty experienced at like breaking into people's rooms and like so I feel like he might be an asset at like basically asking him, hey, if you were gonna do this, how would you do it?
Okay. Do you want to head back to the ship, and you'll probably meet up with the group as they're also getting back to the ship with their kidnapped.
I'm saying that's my vote because it both allows us to get Giltor on the same page of like letting him know that we've sort of pledged crew resources to a new project, and then also let Asim know we might need his expertise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we'll
you
just
guys go
inform
back to the
them.
ship as you see Gilator and Asim and two random guys carrying a third random guy up the gangway onto the ship, basically slung over somebody's shoulder, like tied up.
Tie him to the mast. In the meantime,
Captain.
Captain, Captain Gilator.
Yes, Lan.
I know that I have in the past expressed to you that it is better to have a somewhat firmer hand in the recruitment and or in the sort of recruitment aspect of running a ship crew. That being said, you might consider a bit of a softer touch than this when convincing people to join the ship.
Oh no, this guy's not. I mean, not this guy. The other two are with us now. This guy was acting all shifty and shady, and like he might know something about stuff.
and the captain didn't like it. So
Yeah, I don't like it when people know things about stuff.
and don't want to share.
I see. All right, well, I say let's bring him aboard before we make a spectacle of ourselves out here. I think we've all got a lot to share, and got a lot that the others need to know.
So, Len, to the mast or to the cells below?
I mean it's the captain's call, but I say the cell. I was gonna say to the cells below because number one, as I said, not a great look if someone walks by on the dock and we're torturing a man in broad daylight on the deck of our ship. Number two, that's what the cells are for.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So put him in the cell with the cage with Scuttle.
Scuttle's not in the below decks prison. Scuttle's in a cage up on the main deck.
We can keep our damn eyes on him.
Exactly.
We're gonna keep him in a. We're gonna put him in the cell with the other prisoner.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Also, I want to look over at the other two crewmates who you've brought with you. Like the other two, like new potential hires. I presume that once we start having a conversation, they just sort of like, start like looking into space and just sort of waiting for someone to give them instructions.
Kind of. They start taking the prisoner below decks.
Great. I want. Oh, was that an instruction? Was that a scene telling them to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Okay, I was gonna say otherwise I would like start barking at them to like start sweeping or mopping.
No. They're watching that one, and
okay,
they're just scary enough that.
No.
He might wet his pants and tell us something.
No.
Well, Helgrid's also down there, and she's terrifying.
What?
Helgrid, your prison officer.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the rag and baldy like
brig guard.
Have you not read the crew manifest?
Not recently.
Or the boatman.
We only solidified it last game.
True.
We only solidified it as Ben was like, yeah, I should probably like shit or get off the pot on some of these NPCs.
Yeah, I don't know who these other Rosonian people, ex-Marines. Oh, did you pick them up from
yes,
the?
we did. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Listen, land differentiates the crew not by height or weight or sex or race, but by the degree of pain in the ass that they are, and to him that means that most of these people are identical.
Facts. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair
We
enough.
have Zaprino, Togashi, and then the rest of them.
I will say, I think that once we get him in the cell below, we should tell the two new guys to skedaddle, because if this guy gives away potentially sensitive information, it might be better to only have people that are already in confidence in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Hellgrid's
I
been
feel like
working.
it's weird that they're walking through our ship already without any other guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, a ship is a ship. They're all like layout very similar.
Okay.
Bottom line, once they get to the cell and they've already like put him in the brig, the second that they start to show any semblance of like free time, basically, I bark at them that like, it's like, what are you doing there, standing around? And it's like, and I point at one of them, and I order him to get above and start swabbing the poop deck immediately. And I say that I want the boards of that ship so clean that I can eat off of them. And I tell the other one, basically just like, get to the, or it's like that the shipmaster here rejected our maintenance request for now, and that means that, or it's like, and that means that unfortunately the barnacle scraping will have to be done. Flick open a knife in house. I flick it to him.
Ooh.
Yeah, they both head off and go do that. Well, which one are you telling what? There's a the young elven guy, and the older orc dude who's like jacked as fuck.
Older orc dude, he's gonna need some muscles to get leverage on those barnacles. Plus, because he's bigger, I want to give him the slightly more taxing task so that he knows, like, basically I kind of put him in his place early. The smaller elven dude, I'm gonna set to mopping, because I want him to cabin boy duty, basically. Yeah.
Okay. He shrugs and kind of looks a little disappointed, as like this is a waste of my talents kind of thing. But he's
Right.
like,
I want to get in his shit. And I say, oh, I apologize. And I say, I apologize, sailor. Did you have concerns? Or I say, did
no,
you have
sir.
concerns about the task to which you've been assigned?
No, sir.
It's like, I nod and I go, He's like, that's a good thing then. Because for a second, it seems as though you had certain notions or disillusionments. And I look over at Amandi, and I just go, first mate Amandi. I say, it's like, were you considering retirement recent? I was like, were you considering retirement? Apparently we may have a new candidate for first mate here.
Oh my god.
Fancies himself a future captain of his own ship. And I, raising my voice at him, as I suggest that as long as we're once we get to the high seas, we might consider capturing a new frigate, building ourselves a navy, as we have a future admiral on our hands here.
Mondi stands by as the scary dog privilege that Land doesn't really need for this situation.
This guy looks nonplussed, and he goes, "Yes, sir," and then turns away and walks up.
Which guy looks nonplussed?
The dude you're yelling at, the elf.
Can I roll intimidation to see if he looks like spooked at all?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to see if I can get under his skin a little bit. Where's the?
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Go ahead and roll intimidation.
Why does nonplussed have two definitions that are basically the antonym of each other?
Why? What do they mean?
Because the antonym essentially is the wrong way to use it, but everybody uses it that way, so it's the right way to use it.
Fair enough. It does mention that the informal North American usage of it.
Oh,
And
there we go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose the correct usage is surprised and confused so much that they are unsure how to react. The American version is not disconcerted and unperturbed.
Because
Huh,
Americans are
Oh,
stupid.
He's an elf. He's hard to read.
So I can't read whether or not he's intimidated or not.
Did you roll? Oh, he looks like a bit abashed, but more like not upset, but like like emasculated a little bit.
Right, I step aside and jerk my head up the stairs. As if we're done talking about this now.
Yeah, he leaves. He goes.
As I
the other
watch him
guy-
leave, I turn to Lan and just like shake my head and was like, do they honestly expect to be sword fighting like every second of every day? What do they think we do when we're out at sea?
The other guy, as you tell him to clear the barnacles, he looks at you, also just blank faced, takes a knife, salutes you with the knife, and is like, aye aye, and walks away.
Right on.
Like that one's
Like,
Right, as he leaves, I go, "Oi, sailor! What's your name?"
aye,
I was like, "Name,
Olger,
Olger." I say, "How are you?
aye,
Any experience behind a weapon, Olger?"
some,
Is that a sum, like it's a genuine, like, not really, or is this him being cagey about being a good fighter?
being modest, yeah.
Right. I say, great. I look at him. I say, "This isn't a trade vessel, son." I say, no place for modesty. When I ask you a question, I expect the answer. Can you fight?
Aye.
Then I nod, jerk my head up the stairs, and I say that, it seems, well, you have one battle to get to for now, but I say, but save some in the hull for later. We may have use of a different skill set of yours later.
Sir. And he walks away. So you guys go below decks to the prison, to the brig. Helgrid's standing in front of the basically one small jail cell that you have built into the ship.
With a small three-legged stool in the corner on which there
With-
is a glass mason jar with chains wrapped around it.
Correct. And this Gaston guy sitting on on the ground.
I forgot about the tentacle.
I never did.
It's the other
He's
prisoner.
just looks dejected and he's not looking up at you. And Helgrid looks at you, Captain, and she's like, "Where the fuck do you drag this one from?" Captain, who should be paying attention to the game and not playing Pokemon, whatever the fuck, on his phone.
I need to be doing something with my hands.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Stick them up your ass.
I'm
I
gonna
was-
leave.
I
I'm
was
gonna
out
leave
of-
that
I
alone.
was-
That's
I
the
was
last
out of
time.
I was out of the room and I sprinted back into the room to say, "Figure your butt like a real man," as Ben beat me to it.
So we were at this bar, right?
And he was being sketchy.
And you know how it is when you pick up a man at a bar.
She raises an eyebrow. She cocks an eyebrow, nonplussed.
Pick up a man in a bar.
No, seriously, he
We picked him up on
reeks
the
of trade
docks.
figured he'd know something about what's going on.
Can I do a little bit of the questioning?
Sir, he's just Garin. Trade guilds from Andoran.
I know, but with what we've learned about or in light of what Lan has told us about his misadventures today,
She
it's kind of coming together.
She shrugs and raises her eyebrows and is like, "All right," and unlocks the bars. It's like, "It's all yours."
All right. First question: where do you get good marshmallows around here? The crew's been asking for some.
The dude looks so confused.
I feel like that's more of a question for like somebody more native to the area.
Can I say I really love the idea that with Giltor here, we're gonna play good cop, bad cop, worst cop, oh shit cop.
Yeah, basically.
And we're just gonna go down the descending order of like fuck that. It's like, oh no, it doesn't circle back around to good cop for a while. You get a few more exits to stop it first.
Yeah. This is
What the hell do you want from me? Let me out of here.
Asim, you wanted to do some of the questioning.
The guild will come looking for me.
What
Wow.
guild?
Wow, gives us answers without even us asking. What guild? Trade guild? Is that who you work
Well,
for? Listen, dude. If you answer me, you walk out of here. Okay? If you answer my questions and the captain's questions, you'll walk out of here.
They were
If
just
we-
paying me to keep lookout. I told you that before. You didn't have to drag me back to your shithole ship.
Look out for where?
For any fucking meddlers coming by like you.
But yes, but
For who?
I want to meddle. What am I? You tell me what I should be meddling
Well,
in.
I'm not gonna. I don't know. They were fucking
What are they doing here?
presumably trying to buy something or some shit. I don't know. They basically stopped all the
about we
commerce
start-
going on in this docks.
Before you were a snitch for the trade guild. I mean, lookout. What did you do for a living?
Well, I run with a crew.
One of the ships in the bay?
Well,
In port?
would he be on a ship? That's a good question. Not a ship. I mean, just in town.
So like a gang then.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So what kind of information does your gang have?
Not even a
What's
water
also- Well, I'd like to know what specifically were they doing that you thought was meddling?
What was who doing? What are you talking about? They just had me sit at the bar and go and let them know if anybody showed up that
So you went
seemed
to know
dangerous. And I figured pirates seemed dangerous. Fuck me, right? I was right on the fucking point.
Land doesn't show it, but he's thinking to himself like, "This guy's totally right. We really didn't have to kidnap him."
Well, no, we did have to kidnap him because he was gonna. Like, if we're gonna meddle, we might as well get the element of surprise. Like,
Or as
now
much as we can.
Yeah, now we can kill this guy, and like they won't even know we're here. Oh, we're killing you, by the way.
What?
Captain.
Very-
Hold on one second. Can I speak to you outside the cell for a second?
Lanolin also did tell you that he had a run-in with the trade guild, so they do know you're here.
But they don't know how much of us are here.
I
They
mean,
saw
if they've
two
ever
people.
seen our bounty hunters, they probably have a good idea.
Roll. It was Amandi and Lanolin. Amandi and Lanolin, roll me a d20. Amandi, give me with a +4. Lanolin with a +3.
For our bounties.
Yep. How famous are you?
extra famous, not 20.
Andy's extra. He recognized. He didn't say anything, but you could tell that the commander recognized you immediately and knows who you are. So he knows that the rest of your crew is here.
God damn it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Cap,
famous
Cap,
enough for-
can I
Can I
talk to
try?
you for a second? Just
Yeah, what's up, bud?
outside the cell.
Oh well, yeah, obviously.
And I get real close. And like, I don't mean to be getting close, but I did tell him we'd let him live if he told us everything he knew, and he seems pretty stupid. He's just a street gang lookout. So
Yeah. That being said, he is just a street gang lookout. What could he possibly know more than this now?
yeah. So maybe we
can I-
don't kill him. Maybe we press him into service.
Can I approach the guy to ask him a question?
Yeah.
He's sitting there.
We're just
Right.
chatting real quick.
Are his hands tied?
Probably.
Yeah.
Great. I cut his hands loose.
Okay.
I hand him the bottle. And I tell him to take it. I say, take a drink and settle your nerves before you shit yourself on my deck.
He looks at it very nervously.
Great. I take it, swig it, hand it back to him.
He looks at it less nervously and drinks.
I take it, like, I let him get like 2 gulps and then rip it out of his hand. I go, now. I say, listen. I'm gonna level with you. I don't much actually like killing people. Least of all, people, and I say, what can be considered friends of ours. And I think you would agree that it would be more advantageous to your positioning. Would it be that you could end this interaction as a friend? Would you not agree?
As much as we can.
I nod and I say, now. I say, my captain over there is probably the nicest person on this ship that you're likely to meet. And the gentleman he's talking to over there, and I shrug and I say, well, not the meanest, is probably the one most likely to kill you if he gets bored or thinks that you no longer have anything interesting to tell him. Me, however, and I say, I occupy a unique, what we might say, a middle ground between the two of them. And I say that meaning that I am the most reasonable person that you'll be speaking to aboard the ship. But that being said, I'll also have the least amount of reservations at tossing you overboard and letting the sea decide what to do with you. Should we not hear what we like? And I say, this crew that you run with in town, what sort of business exactly are you in?
He basically tells you, like, thief, bandit kind of shit.
Just
like-
basics, like sneak thieves kind of thing.
Yeah.
So how, and spare no details here, son. And I say, how exactly does a group of random pickpocket sneak thieves come into the service of the Galerian Trade Guild? And are there others like you that are working for them?
He basically tells you that just, like, one of his lieutenants showed up.
Is it one of the guys who we met?
I don't know. He doesn't describe him.
Oh, no, I'm asking him, like, for a description. Like, tell me if he looked, like, what did the guy look like?
Yeah, he's one of the underlings of
Okay.
the dude, not the guy himself,
Right.
but yeah, he says one of his guys showed up in the bar where we tend to hang out and asking around for people who want to make some coin, and they said all I got to do was sit at the bar and watch and get them in contact with the rest of the the gang, and just go let him know if there was any shady shit going on at the docks.
Shady
And that's
shit.
what I did. I told you everything already.
No, yes, you have. And you've been mighty cooperative thus far in this line of questioning. And he's like, which I will be reporting back to the captain and will be factored in heavily into the imminent discussion of your, fate. Now, I say, your crew you run with, and I say, do you have any sort of base? I ask, does he have a? And I say, what other sort of business do you find yourself in? And I basically ask, like, you know what? I'm just gonna thought to ask him. And I ask if kidnapping is a racket they tend to find themselves in. And yes, I recognize the irony of myself asking you that question. Please spare us for the moment and clear answers only.
He looks very confused and says, "No, where's the money in that?"
Hmm.
Okay.
Ransom?
I mean, yeah, but nobody's gonna pay a ransom.
Ransom also takes a long time. And
Yeah,
also, it doesn't help when it's
That's
like it's
super
a
fucking
it's a
risky.
well, it's also a small
Yeah.
island where like you can't like leave. Like you're gonna see the guy.
Right, that's super risky.
I say, do you have a base of operations, or you just meet up in the bar for a couple drinks and a quick back alley mugging?
I
Is that what we're calling it now?
That's what the kids are calling it nowadays.
Yeah, no, he says that usually they just meet up at the bar.
And I say, I ask him, how well do you think you know, like, the sort of the seedier underbelly side of these ports? Like, if I asked you were to find something unsavory, how likely do you think you'd be to be able to tell me?
I mean, it depends on what it is. There's not much going on out here in the middle of nowhere besides the dry docks, but we tend to snag useful stuff off of the ships that pass through and the sailors that pass through.
Let's say I had something very valuable, and I needed to store it somewhere in the city that was secure, but not conspicuous. I need to keep it. I need to keep this treasure somewhere that I can easily fortify, but that won't require enough men that it'll become obvious that there's something valuable inside. And discretion in moving it to that location is key. And say if it helps,
It's a lot of what?
And I say we
I'm
need to be
very confused at this point.
okay.
He's
Let's
like,
say I have something aboard. I say, let's say I have something valuable on a ship.
Are you asking where we keep the stash? What the fuck? What?
I say, I break it down for him in as simple a terms as I can. And I say, if I came into port on a ship and I had something valuable and shiny aboard the ship, and I asked you for help to put it somewhere where no one would find it, but where I could be confident that no one would find it, but where I could check on it easily if I needed to, where would you put it?
He says, I don't know. That ain't our business. Our business is pocketing stuff, selling it to other people, and then pocketing the coin.
You never take anything so. He's like, you never take anything so big as you might need to stash it until the heat dies down. Or at the very least, you might not have any idea of. I mean, so he has no idea. Like even hypothetically, like where would you do this?
Nah, he's an idiot.
No, that's a very specific thing you're asking that he is not in the business of knowing.
Okay.
He is in the business of fucking pickpocketing people and stealing things out of cargo holds.
This is all I needed to know. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the last bit is like, hey, like most people, if you ask them, hey, hypothetically, in this neighborhood, if I wanted to stash something somewhere where no one would find it, what would be a good place to do that? You can go, oh, fuck me. Hey, there's that old building over there. It's been abandoned for like They've been doing construction on it for like 3 years. No one ever goes in there. Like that's what I'm asking him to tell me is like, hey, for one of the locals in this place, if you wanted to store something in a hurry, where would you do it?
Yeah, I mean, he says there's probably like warehouses around town. I never use that. Our gang never uses that because we usually just heist things that we can easily carry and sell and turn a profit on immediately.
Fair.
I nod and I thank him. I say I'm going to go have a word with the crew now, but you've been. And I say, you've been as useful as I believe it is within your capacity to be for now.
Great. Can I go now?
And I say, are you immediately going to run and tell the trade guild that we kidnapped you, or is it that we kidnapped you and they should come and blow us all up?
Definitely not.
I quirk an eyebrow at him and I go, you really do have no good sense of how to make money, do you? And then I close the door and walk away. Of like, essentially telling him like, damn, you stupid. That's exactly what you do. I walk over to Captain and see he's an idiot. He doesn't know. He doesn't know shit. I say he doesn't know shit from apple butter.
Maybe we can have him scrape the barnacles?
We're not press ganging him. He'd run the first time that we had the chance. I say we hold on to him for a bit. When we're done here, we hold on for him for a bit. Bring him some food and water, and when we're done with him, cut him loose.
That's another mouth to feed.
I've got a question. He has a street gang, right? They steal stuff, right?
I know what you're thinking. I already asked about it. He's a pickpocket and a sneak thief, nothing more.
Did you ask him where his gang hides out?
He said they just meet up at the bar, pick out a mark and chase him, or pick out a mark who looks like they're gonna get too drunk to watch their purse and run him down. Up until they got into service of being informants for the trade guild.
Oh.
We're not going to be able to outcoin the trade guild.
I didn't say we should.
No, so but he was looking at me when he said that.
I don't see a world where we get to turn this guy into our assets over the trade guild's asset.
Actually,
he doesn't need to be either. He can just sit here until
I'm suggesting that when we're done on this island, we just let him go live his life. Though actually, Captain, there's one piece of information that you don't know yet that I feel may be in line with this conversation.
Go on.
Me and Monday went to go visit the shipwright to discuss the repairs to the ship. There was an incident involving members of the trade guild and some of the local workers.
Oh, cool, so they know we're coming.
I say, aye. And I apologize, Captain. I say, as you know, I have a history with the trade guild, and I let the temper get the best of me, and I attacked one of their captains.
Understandable. I would have done the same.
It resulted in the death of one of the townspeople.
Oh.
Killed in retribution over it. I say, that being said, I've seen what they're doing here before. They basically park their ship out in the dock and try and strong arm the local businesses into selling themselves into the trade guild, and they can take most of the profits. They don't allow any work to be done, trying to starve them out so they can buy it for coppers. But in this case, the man who owns it is holding fast, and as a result, they've kidnapped his son, sir.
Huh.
I say that as I'm the reason why a man is dead, I've given the shipmaster my word that I'll help retrieve his son, and while I can say nothing, while I am in no position to ask, I say I would appreciate if I basically say that I would appreciate assistance or time and assistance from the crew to honor that request, as well as I believe you may empathize with, or I believe you may be able to empathize with the plight of these people.
So what you're telling me is that without my knowing, you offered our men to liberate this town from trade guild tyranny.
I shake my head and I
No.
say, no. I shake my head and I say that I was very specific with the wording of my oath, sir. I gave word that I would give my best efforts to doing so. And I say that if it is not within your wishes to do so, then. And I say very solemnly that if you wish to move on, then Lan will volunteer to stay behind here to try and accomplish that goal until such time as you can come back to retrieve it later.
We can't. The ship is damaged and needs to be fixed.
Well, basically, Lan is saying that whatever happens, I've given my word to do this. If the crew doesn't...
I'm aware. This is Amandi interjecting that,
Okay.
like, we literally can't just leave you here to do this on your own. We can't go anywhere.
No, I wouldn't leave Land behind to do it on his own. I'm just saying, like, genuinely, good call. Having a town of nothing but shipwrights in our debt, golden. Imagine how much cheaper it's going to be to fix our ship. Oh, I guess we'll
Yes.
save the people.
Yes,
That's
sir.
true.
That was also and I say that was also a topic of conversation that was discussed with the Master Shipwright. At the moment, they can't do any business as the trade guild ship is using that man of war docked in the bay to enforce a what do you call a what's the word for a reverse boycott?
It's like an economical siege.
Miltor's not going to know what that means.
I went to officer school.
Great. Then he
Basically
tries.
a one-ship blockade.
What's up?
It's basically a one-ship blockade.
There. Oh, embargo.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Lan says it's a miniature embargo basically, and I essentially say that it is an understanding, at least on my part, that if we agree to help him and get them out of here, then they will agree to help us fix our ship.
Yeah.
However, first, I say that this morning the man's son was kidnapped, and I believe he's either being held aboard that man of war or else somewhere at a secure location in town. And I look at Asim and I say, I was hoping that our resident master thief would lend his expertise to trying to discern the how and the why of the boys' kidnapping.
I mean, if we have to get on the ship, it's a good thing we have a lot of potions of water breathing to get us underwater. We just have to find a way to get, like,
I mean, I feel like Asim could just scale the boat. He scaled ours during a storm and a monster fight. So, like, I feel like he can do that and fairly easily canvas the ship, try to find the kid. And then, like, I suppose come back and inform us about where said kid is held. And then after we rescue the kid, we sink the ship, killing the captain, at the very least the men we directly had a confrontation with, probably a lot more of them, and
Kill
leave at
them all.
least a survivor to spread word. And then after all that's done, we drink the potions of water breathing and loot the ship from underwater.
So I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
They have a big ship, don't they?
Yeah.
yeah.
How attached are you to your current ship?
Huh.
Actually, we were supposed to talk to the shipwright about if it's better to fix our ship or get a new ship.
Why don't we
I
just
don't know
take
if
the
we have
trade
enough
guilds?
food on that, though.
There are people in town, and I'll get drunk again and sing like Lan does.
Matt.
Why would you need to do that? I'm here.
Oh, hi, Lan.
I mean, I just say, like, do what you like, I guess. But if it's
Wait,
essential,
what is the reason for this?
that's what Lan's wondering. Of like, why? I mean, also okay, but
To hire more crew. Oh, because you weren't there the last time, and I think I drank a good amount to
That's why
anyway.
Land is just. That's why it's just like I'll go and get drunk and sing like Land does, and he's like,
To what
"What's
end?
wrong with this?" Yeah, it's like, what do I have to do with
To
this?
get crew. Anyway.
I already got through.
Do you think that the
For the
singing
bigger
is-
boat.
Do you think, or it's just like, do you think that me singing is the entire thing that goes into recruiting more crew?
I don't know. I have a headache.
It's a long pause. It's just like it's a
Lan,
long pause.
Lan,
It's just like, you think I just sing a little song and then magically pirates begin coming out of the woodwork to begin walking aboard the ship to mop things?
yes. Yes, that's exactly what I think.
Okay, well that's not
Quite.
for a sec. That's not all I do.
True. I know that there's a little bit more finesse and whatnot, but like anyway. We can find crew here. That much I know. There are plenty of people who are looking for work if we want to upgrade to that bigger ship in the port.
Possible. I won't rule it out.
So maybe we don't blow it up. We just kill them all.
I guess.
As much as blowing it up would be fun. Having a bigger ship,
Might be helpful.
yeah.
But let's see what we can do with it. Quick question, Ben.
Yeah.
Have I heard anything from my crew?
In regards to,
Whatever I gave them last to do.
I don't remember what that was.
Make it
Make that
difficult. Make it difficult. Can't
That's
speak.
easy for you to say.
Yes, yes, it was. To make it difficult for whoever's fucking around with Jeskar. You know, raids.
Make it difficult for whoever's. What?
He told
Listen.
him to start conducting a series of raids on the Phaedron Legion that's embargoing Deskar.
Yes,
Yeah, they're doing it.
Captain. Do you want me to send? Since we are currently not mobile, do you want me to send for my ship just in case everything goes south here and we need to? I would never ever suggest it, but temporarily relocate to another ship.
I mean, depends. How fast do you think they could get? How fast do you think your message will get to them and they can sail from Jaskar to here?
Jaskar and Coast is probably like a week or more away.
Only a week?
From Egypt to Russia?
It's probably more. Let's see. Let's look at the map. Oh,
It's
yeah,
a bit. Yeah, but
What
just
is it?
because they were conducting raids along the Jeskaran coast doesn't mean that that's where the bird will find them. You know, because they could be in a friendly port, refueling, so to speak, restocking, getting their own crew.
Yeah, they're over like 2 weeks away at least.
So they'll be here in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, they're 2 weeks away by ship, not by bird. So the bird has to find them first.
Right.
Yes. Never mind.
Probably about a month or so.
I don't think we're gonna be here that long.
Is there anything that we want them doing other than a progress report? Because I do need to keep in touch with them.
Honestly, it might not be the worst idea to have them start, like, set a rendezvous point.
To play catch up?
Like, set a rendezvous point in between where we are and where we're going. And then agreed, like, no, try and meet up at a middle point between all three of those. So that we can decide what to do. Because we're going into another thing here that it might not be a bad idea to have some reinforcement.
Fair. Okay.
I will say, I do want to approach Captain Gillator.
Yeah.
And Lan says very humbly, just Captain, do appreciate that you've agreed to. You've agreed to allocate the crew resources for this plan. That being said, I say I'm ashamed of my actions today. Not only did I act out of turn with authority to engage in combat with members of a hostile power, but and I say in doing so, I allowed my temper to get ahead of me and jeopardize the safety of the crew. And I basically, as Lan sighs, and he essentially requests to be, I don't know what the pirate equivalent of a court-martialing is, but essentially requests to be put in his place for this, that he allowed his own personal grudges and biases to like get the better of him and drive him into a point where he was willing to just attack this person on the spot.
All right, let's take a quick vote. Of my officers, all in favor of booting Lan from the ship, say aye. All in favor of keeping him, say aye now.
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Meeting adjourned.
You're not. And I say you have no notes. And say about the fact that I attacked a member of, or attempted to murder a member of the Galerian Trade Guild in broad daylight over a an interaction between him and one of the townspeople.
I raise a hand and intercede. As the second mate, I was there and I approved of those actions at the time.
Yeah, we've killed more important people for more selfish reasons.
I just like but it's Lan is saying that he only did that on your orders. You didn't order me to do those things. Therefore,
we weren't even in the same room. You want me to order you to wipe your ass? God damn.
So
great. Lan nods and says that he will consider this to be consider this conversation to be a formal dressing down.
He also acknowledges that now that he knows he's able to wipe his own ass without your say so.
Yes. It's also, I'm saying this all knowing the fact on a meta level that it's like, this is exactly what Gilator would want Lan to do.
Yeah.
But because he was not expressly told to do it, it's like causing a bit of a crisis.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if you were with somebody higher up in the chain of command than you, but less than me, and I wasn't in the room, you defer to her. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's how it works.
Then I nod.
And this is why I trust her judgment.
Very good, sir. Very good, ma'am. Oh, and I say on the topic as well, to wrap back around, and I say the man in the cell over there. I say he does report back to he in some informal way does report back to the trade guild, and they are expecting information from him. I was basically saying if we keep him alive and at least somewhat in our good graces, we might be able to feed them false information that could put them in an advantageous position for us. As I mentioned that I don't think that the child is being held aboard the ship, or at the very least, I don't think he's going to be there for long if they are. So I say that we might be able to plant false information that could cause them to go check on something and in turn lead us directly to them.
I would like to clarify that we are out of earshot of said prisoner while having this conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Or we could drown him in the bottomless flask and leave him in the middle of the road with a bottle in his hand.
No.
That would be bad.
But why not use him as potentially a resource to deliver whatever you say, Captain?
I love it. So 2 quick questions. One, it is 10:05.
Lana's also just thinking, if we're gonna kill him, why not just fucking stab the guy? Like, why are we? What is this?
Because you said the guild is expecting him back. If they find him dead of alcohol poisoning,
he doesn't work for them. Like, he's not their employee. He's just a contractor, I guess is the right way to phrase it. Like,
Yeah.
if he shows up with information, they'll listen to him and
Yeah.
possibly act on said information.
But there's no way for like he just wants money, and there's no way for us to outpay the thieves or the trade guild.
We don't have to
Or
outpay
there,
him.
I
We just have
don't
to
know.
trick him.
We can either trick him or intimidate him, or if he knows he's gonna get paid for whatever information we feed him to the trade guild, basically we tell him we'll give you 10 gold to bring this information to them, plus whatever they're gonna pay you to do it.
True. I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll alert the media.
So real quick, Captain, can I see you in your quarters?
The captain is pissing.
The
Yeah.
captain just went to the head.
All right. Since Captain's in the head, Amandi.
Yeah.
Where are we going after we take out the trade guild?
Don't know. Imagine we're, depending on what we choose to do about the whole ship situation after that, we might be here for a bit. But on Land's recommendation, we're trying to pick a meeting point to meet your ship.
Yes.
So
looking at the map, I was thinking somewhere off the coast of Andorra.
I'm back from peeing. What I missed?
there's a question being asked about where we're going after our current adventure.
Wherever this new spyglass piece points.
Ben, what direction is it pointing?
I think southwest.
By the way, whomever is
Oh,
coughing like that, I really need you to go to a doctor and get that checked out.
Sorry, southeast.
That's me, and yeah, I have an appointment next week.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, also, as long as we're on the topic of weird noises into the microphone,
It's just the flu that's been going.
Asim,
Yeah.
if possible, could you make it so that when you join the Discord before the stream begins, it is not punctuated by a loud, slightly distorted wolf noise?
I can shut that off before I join the Discords.
Okay, because it's often like I'll be sitting at my computer and then all of a sudden just hear, "Ooh!"
Does it make you?
Luke hates all of the Discord noises.
I can disable
I
it.
do.
I-
It is.
I
a-
hit the duck quack and he goes feral.
I do not like the Discord noises. I especially don't like the Discord noises that are louder than everything else and in the because it's also like the wolf thing. We're never expecting it because we're just hanging out waiting for the stream to start and we don't know he's there.
It's not that
No,
loud.
so just to let you know, that it only happens when I enter the Discord.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay.
I don't
Again,
know
if
what computer set on, it's not that loud. Daniel, can you hand me my water bottle?
I like
if it's just a me thing, whatever. I'm just putting that out there. Of like,
no,
I will fully admit I do hate all the Discord noises. It is a very,
that's a
that is
custom
very
Discord noise for me. I made that. I
load my
took
own
that one.
noises.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loaded my own noise.
My own cool Discord noise.
Yeah, I want my own cool duck quack.
You can. You just have to add it to your soundboard for one of your servers, and then you can put it.
I do. It's my favorite one.
Anyway,
What is it
so
As Gillator, I want to come into the chat and the Grab Rave starts playing.
Crab rave.
Yeah, the YouTube.
so
Grab Rave.
southeast from our current location
Yeah, let's look at the map to see what that means.
is probably going to be somewhere in Andorran. Or going through. So are there any pirate-friendly ports in the Straits of Andorran?
Yes, lots of them.
Well, remember, it's not just where we're going. Like, if it means,
Mara.
hey,
All the other ones?
let's also remember real quick. If it means picking a rendezvous point that we can go to with your crew, can you push out the map real quick? I don't have it. Images maybe. Let's see. Where would I find the? There we go. Okay, so where are we
All the way at the top. Teak
right
Bay.
now? Or
There.
there we go. Okay.
So I was
I'm just saying
thinking.
I'm just saying it's worth going a little bit out of the way if it means we can more easily intersect with your ship. So we need to triangulate, like. We
I
need
was
to
thinking
triangulate
somewhere
the
there.
direction where we're going. So
It's
your
going that
order's
way.
over there.
Okay,
The
so we're going.
spyglass is pointing towards the red.
Yeah, my red line. In
Is
that
is
general
Ela I forget, is Ela Cordova friendly to us?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one that we saved from the big fucking tentacles.
That's where Navigator Zafrino was from.
We could always stop there.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, let's make that our rendezvous.
I'm assuming that next game we will be setting fire to the trade
Well, no,
guild.
next game, you're gonna tell me how you would break into a little boy's room.
No, I won't.
You're
I'm
an
gonna.
expert in that.
I'm an expert in breaking into people's rooms.
Well, the room that we're talking about belongs to a little boy, and someone broke in. So you need to tell us how you would break into a little boy's room.
I don't
No.
see the how being important so much as the tracking from said area.
We need to know the whole picture. We need the whole picture here because the how will reveal, like, if there's dirt that got left on the floor, it means they were.
I will inspect. I will inspect
the whole crime scene for you to investigate.
I will inspect the crime scene. I am not going to talk about how to break into a little boy's room. Because that's not something Asim feels comfortable thinking about.
We don't even need to break in. We could just go in and investigate it. We need you to hunt down the little boy.
Yeah.
That's even more. That.
Mm-hmm.
Choose
your words more carefully, Captain.
How is that better?
Exactly.
I never said it was.
That's worse. You see how that's worse, right?
That is so much worse.
You're gonna break into that, get up in that room, and then track down that little boy, and then it'll be so heroic. I'll compose a song all about it, and you know what key that song will be in? A minor.
Wow.
Anyway.
Oh my god, that's so inappropriate.
So inappropriate.
There was a Kendrick Lamar reference for those of you who don't understand. But yeah. So. But yeah, so that's what we're doing next time, I guess.
On the next exciting adventure.
So that island right off the coast of the Great Lode is where we're meeting them, right? In the Cordova.
No, it's off the edge of Tor.
Ina Lenora?
No.
I thought we were going to Ila Cordova, off the edge of Tor.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, that was my understanding. Is that not correct?
Yes.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Uh-huh.
I just wrote the wrong one because I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay.
Ila Cordova.
Yeah, that's that. Ila Cordova, the one to the west, is where you guys rescued the town from cultists and recruited Navigators of Freenet.
Yeah. So tell his crew to.
I'm writing a letter.
Basically, head there ASAP. If they get there before us, lay low. Don't make any fucking noise. Don't make any waves. Just wait for us to get there.
Pick up supplies and stay on the boat.
I mean, they're not going to get in trouble off this town.
Okay, I want that written down.
Yeah, don't start shit in the town.
Like you. Okay.
They're also my pirates, so
they're pirates, and they might just get bored and go, "Oh, hey, we could do like one little, oh, hey, there's like we heard there's like a boat passing by off the coast. We can like hit a little raid real quick. No, don't do anything that would draw attention to yourselves. Sit on the ship, get a room at the inn if you want, get drunk, soak up some sun, have a good time, and wait for us to get there. If anyone asks, you're a trading vessel on leave.
All right. Sounds good.
I'm writing up that letter and I'll send it to you in a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and end stream here. Thank you all
Sounds
for
good.
watching. I think that I might
See you
even
next
be able to raid somebody.
We just said no going on
God
raids.
damn it.
Nope,
Oh,
I
dude,
can't.
you can raid the little boy.
No.
Oh yeah, you
I
can-
have to
you can-
edit this whole last section out before I post it to YouTube. Nope, I don't have enough viewers to do it. Never mind.